Get a picture of Tony with his cobia while I'm fighting a cobia. Hey, this is Luke with Saltstrong. In this video, we're going to talk about how to retrieve the shrimp jig out on the reefs. Had an amazing trip, as you just saw. Had a double, actually had multiple doubles of cobia while just jigging this shrimp jig along the bottom on reefs. And we had some questions come in after this video went live last week about the retrieve. And so here's how it is. And we'll actually start at the very beginning so we can walk through the entire process. All right, so first obviously cast it out. In this case, we're in 30 feet of water and we're using the 3/4 ounce weight for these shrimp. This is the Hoss Weedless Football jig, the new jig that we actually made for the shrimp. Obviously, any other lure with a 3/4 ounce weight and not much water drag will do the same thing. It's about a 10-second drop. So let it drop all the way down the bottom, and now it's about retrieving and bouncing it off the bottom. One trick though is you notice that the rod tip stays up. We want it to come off the bottom, and then we want it to glide back down to the bottom. If we drop our rod tip, it's going to go straight back down. But if we hold that rod tip up, it's going to glide down. That's when the strike happens. That's the small little change that, when done, will make a big difference. Obviously, when you feel the strike, let them have it. When you're on the reef, you never really know what it is. I thought it was a grouper until this point right here, when it really started bulldogging back down and ripping some drag out. This ended up being a cobia. But the cool thing about this is that pretty much everything eats shrimp, and if you have a good-looking shrimp jig that can be bounced along the structure without getting snagged, you're going to catch a ton of species. The first time I took it out on the reefs, this power prawn jig, I ended up catching like 10 species. And so here's a nice fun cobia. So here's another example, and this is when the lure starts getting closer to the boat, where you're almost having more of a vertical retrieve. In this case, I keep the rod tip down a little bit more. There's no need to raise it up. You're going to end up high sticking if you feel the strike. So I bump up, and then I slowly let it go back down. I'm always feeling for strikes, and as soon as you feel that thump, let them have it. In this case, it was a little grouper, a very common catch out there, but you never know when a really big one is going to strike. And as I mentioned before, these shrimp jigs are shockingly good out on the reefs. I used to always think that going on the reefs required to have live bait or cut bait, and lately I've been taking this out, and as you saw, there's multiple boats in the background, and most of the days I've been out there lately, I've been catching more cobia than the boats, which has been awesome. It seems like these fish on the high traffic reefs eventually just learn to not eat cut bait on the bottom, and they're just really not used to seeing jigs bounce right along the structure, because there's really not many weedless jigs out there on the market, shockingly. And so this is one that we came up with, and if you have any other weedless jigs that you know of that can be bounced along the bottom in deeper water, please let me know. Let me know in the comments down below. I'll be happy to do some lure tests just to see which one works better than others for different species. I'm sure there's going to be some other options that can be good too, but so far this Power Prawn USA tail rigged on this Hoss football jig has been my ultimate favorite, and again, it's been shockingly good for this nearshore reef fishing, even though it was really designed for inshore. So any questions at all about retrieving shrimp jigs along the bottom, please leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you want to try these out, they're all on fishstrong.com. These are the Power Prawn USA's, and this is the Hoss Weedless Football jig. This jig head is brand new, so it's only available for Insider Club members at this time. We're having a hard time keeping them stocked. Thank you just so much for your time and watch, and hope you enjoyed this video, and we hope to see you again soon.